Hey everybody, my name's Grace and welcome back to the 7th episode of the podcast that has not been named quite yet. Today is a Friday, September 30th. It's the last day of September, so let's get something tasty to drink. I have my tea over here and let's just talk about some knitting and crafting. So, this week for knitting, I have wonderful, exciting news. I'm done with my test knit. I powered through the end of it and I got it done way before the deadline. I have pictures as well. My brother was very nice to take pictures for me. But the only problem is that it's still not out yet. It's coming out tomorrow, so I can't show you it quite yet. But next week, well, maybe not next week. I'm going to talk about next week at the end of the podcast. It's just some housekeeping information. So I can't show you the test knit quite yet, but it is done, and I have worn it, and I really like it, and I think that you guys will really like it too. If you like cozy knits, and if you like things that you can snuggle up in, that are kind of like flowy, and they're just really snuggly, I think you'll really like it. So that's exciting. When it's released, I'll be posting on Instagram, so as will the designer, and I'm sure everybody else who's been test knitting it, so keep a lookout for that. That'll be really exciting. That's coming out tomorrow. But, like I said last week, when I was talking about finishing the test knit, I don't know exactly where I posted this, but I did definitely say that, like, once I finished it, I was going to cast something on to reward myself in being very good and like not working on anything else. So that's what I did. Oh yeah. And so I'm really excited about this just because it's been so much fun to knit. This is the Arm Shawl by Andrea Mowry, who, by the way, is the same designer as the test knit. So it's kind of cool that I'm working on I worked on two of her patterns at the same time. This is the Arm Shawl, and I'm definitely not the first person to ever make this, and I'm definitely very late to the bandwagon or the boat or whatever. The group of people, very cool group of people who have been making this, I'm very late to this, but it's going so quickly. I love it so much. And I really like my colors that I've chosen. I'll be having this color up as well. So, and in true fashion, the camera isn't quite showing the colors as accurately as I'd like, but that's okay. They're pretty close. So that's really wonderful. I ripped through the first two sections 2 days ago, and I did the blue section all yesterday. And I know I could have done so much more if I had just continued to knit, but I had things to do, unfortunately, and I couldn't devote my entire day to knitting as I would have liked, as many of us probably would like to do. The only thing that I will say about this pattern is that because of the stitch pattern that you have, notice how I messed up in the pink section? I was not paying attention, and I messed up on that, but that's okay. I mean, design element, gonna make it work, it's gonna be okay. But the way that it's written, for this portion there are no charts, so if you prefer charts, that might be a problem. There are charts for the colorwork section now, so that's good. And there's also written instructions for the colorwork as well. But this stitch pattern is all written, so you kind of have to keep an eye out on what exactly is going on, and I was not doing a good job of following which row I was on, and I don't know how this happened, but I just completely skipped a row and just kept on going. So I missed the transition to make the little arrows the opposite of what they are, as you can see. I ripped back maybe about 7 rows or something in the pink to make sure that it was at least slightly like what it was supposed to look like. I didn't quite accomplish that, but that's okay. No one's gonna notice. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I am planning on putting more progress on it today. I feel like it's one of those patterns where you just kind of like have to trust that the pattern is correct. Also because so many people have done it, so therefore it must be right. Just because, I don't know, it's, for some reason, I am always slightly wary of things like purl 4 and then purl 7, and then you have like a little thing that you repeat all the way across until like the last 11 stitches, and then you do something else. And it's just like, I have no idea what's going on here, but I just need to trust the pattern, and it's gonna work out just fine. Which also applies to the way that it's laid out. I'm not quite sure. There are buttonholes on some, either, it's a big rectangle if you haven't seen it. It's like pretty big, pretty wide, I guess, and it's really, really long. And this little striping section is on either end. And there are buttonholes involved, and I'm not quite sure where the buttonholes are going. I think they might go on this side instead of this side. I thought it went on this side, but I guess it doesn't. So reading the pattern, I was like, the buttonholes were like, the instruction for the buttonholes were like smack dab in the middle of the pattern. And I was like, wait a second. Wait, what? Where is the buttonhole? Where are the buttonholes going? I don't know. So it's another thing of trusting the pattern. I know it's going to work out just fine, because if there were issues, I'm sure not as many people would be knitting it. But the designer, Andrea, is amazing, and I've knit many of her patterns, and they are wonderful, and they're all well written. So I know I have nothing to worry about. I'm really excited about moving forward with it, because it's going to be wonderful. To review the yarn that I'm using, I talked about this many episodes ago. Many episodes, I say, as if I've had hundreds of episodes. Episode 7. I don't know which episode that was. Maybe 3? I don't know. I tried to look at my show notes and I couldn't find it. It might have been 1. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to review the yarn I'm using. So, this is the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, which is really great, and it's very wonderful. This is my main color. It is called Oyster Heather. Color number 2 is Blossom Heather. Color number 3 is Wonderland Heather, which is a very wonderful, kind of reminds me of Frozen. And then color number 4, which I have not used yet, but it is the next one up, is Cadet, which is not a heather, but I think that'll be just fine. So, it's showing up very navy on the camera. It is definitely more teal and more greeny in person, and it is wonderful. And I really like it, and I'm so excited about knitting it. So that's really exciting. I also have not had any progress on my pond topper hat because I was just so excited about this thing. And finishing the test knit, which I point over here because it's sitting right over here. So I haven't worked on the hat, but it's gonna get done. It will get done soon because it is just a hat and it goes quickly. So that's important and very good. In other knitting news, there's more very exciting knitting news, and I'm sure that if you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen it, and I actually got quite a lot of comments about it, which is very nice of you. Thank you, everybody. I have blocked my Buccaneer, and goodness gracious. I also wrote about this yesterday. Goodness gracious, this thing is massive. It is so big. Like, there's not even any remotely possible way of, so big. It was funny though, because I was laying this out to block on the floor in here, like right back there. And I was all pinned down. It was great. My fiance came over and he was like, that's like so much bigger than your exploration station, which I really appreciate that he remembers the names of the shawls that I've made. It's really great. I tell them to him and he remembers, which is really fun. He always remembers the exploration station. I don't know why, but it's really sweet. I really like that. So I was like, wow, you're right. Like, I didn't even think about that in comparison to the exploration station. You guys saw my exploration station when I showed it to you. And just for like a comparison, I laid that shawl on top of this guy while it was blocking, and oh my goodness, it made this, my exploration station, which you know is huge, seem like a little baby shawl. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. See, like, this is big, this is really big, it's huge. But this guy is even bigger, which is so wonderful. I've been wrapping up in it the past couple nights because it's been getting colder in Texas. Woohoo! The highs have been in about the mid 80s, mid to low 80s. Yesterday the high was 80. What is that? The low last night was like 55. What is that? That's crazy. That means fall is coming, and that is just so exciting. I wrote about this yesterday as well, but I also plugged in a new little scent thing from Bath and Body Works that I got several years ago. It's called Cider Lane, and it's making the entire downstairs smell so amazing, so much like fall. It's really great. I highly recommend, if you have any way to make a place where you are often smell like your favorite scent of fall. There we go. It is just so wonderful. It puts you in the fall mood, and it's just like, oh my goodness, I love this weather. I love autumn. It's the best time to get all warm and snuggly with knitwear. It's a good time. It's a really good time. So, because it has been getting more chilly, I have been snuggling, all the things with this guy, because it's basically like a blanket. And there will definitely be FO pictures at some point that are nice, and they're taken with a nice background and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be really great. When that'll happen, I'm not sure, but they'll definitely be coming at some point, because this thing is just too beautiful not to document, because it's just so wonderful. I love it so much. The Wonders of Madeline Tosh. I'm gonna try and put all the colorway names in the show notes, which can be found on my blog. There are a lot of them since I added more colors, so I'll do my best. But The Wonders of Madeline Tosh, I wrote about this yesterday, because it is the way it is. It blocks out and stretches out so much, and it's such a nice weight, and it flows so nicely, and I love it so much. If you have any opportunity to knit shawls like this out of Madeline Tosh Light, I highly recommend it. This is just the way that I like my shawls, though, so if you don't like them this way, then it might not be for you, but I do love it this way. What is this? Oh, that's just an end. Hello, end. I was like, oh my goodness, is there a stitch that got stuck? No, it was just an end. Anyway, so I finished this. This is amazing. I love it so much. So, yes. That is great. Moving on to really more exciting things. Today is just the episode of exciting things, that is for sure. I have done more dyeing. I have made more progress in the business that I'm going to be having. I'm starting of hand-dyed yarn, if you didn't know. So that's really exciting. It's also very, kind of scary, because I've been working on this for so long, and then the time has finally come, or getting very close to when I actually do it, and it's like, whoa. I've been working on this for forever, and now the time has finally come. I don't know if I want, I know I want to, but it's still very daunting, and it's still very scary, but scary in a good way. Scary and daunting in a good way. It's just like, whoa, this is so cool. I get to do this. I'm going to try and do it. And, anyway, so I've dyed a little bit more. I dyed 2 new colorways, or various types of colors. I don't know if they'll actually be colorways. But, and then I also have another one that I didn't show you last time that was my the attempt after the Nebula colorway, which I will also show you, which I was able to reskein up. And I also reskeined up the Nebula skeins, so I'll show you what they look like. These are them, and they're just so cool. I don't know, I honestly don't know if they still like read Nebula to me still. And so what I did, obviously I showed you I had like 10 little mini skeins, and I just scanned them all up together according to their weight, which is why they're all slightly different, and so that's cool. But I really like them. I think they're really fun. And there we go. So that's really great. This one is definitely not as white as is coming up, but that's okay. There's a lot more color in there. Anyway, so those are those. And then the ones that I didn't show you is this, which is turning up so orange. It is so much more red. And then I have a little mini skein, and I forgot to skein up in this big guy. So, this to me, like, red roasted tomato, I don't know why. I threw some green in there when I was dyeing it, and so that just kind of spoke roasted tomato to me. I think I'm gonna make some mittens with these, because I think that's really fun. And I think and it's like, it's the Peruvian wool from Knit Picks. It's not quite as soft, and it's a little bit more durable, so I think that's what I'm gonna do with that. Plus it's just really fun, and yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to knit with their own dyed yarn? That's just a question. And I showed you these guys last week. They have not been reskeined, but I need to do that. I'll be doing the same thing where I put them all together and make one big skein. So that's great. But I have more colors to show you. I also got new dye. I also tried new methods of dyeing, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. This is, the only problem is that they're all uneven. No! Can we scooch you back? There we go. So, I don't know what this reminds me of. Also, this is turning up so much more purpley than it actually is. It's way more gray and very kind of like, I don't know. It kind of looks like a Halloween colorway, honestly, which is very timely. As I did write down what I did. So if you guys like this, let me know, and I can make this one of my regular colorways, which would be really great. Or not if it's a Halloween one. So yeah, it's just, it kind of reminds me slightly of like maybe like Sweeney Todd or something like that. Something not gory, but spooky. You know, spooky. Oh, that could be a nice name. Spooky. I don't know. There's lots of possibilities. So this also needs to be reskeined up, and yeah, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. I got new dyes, so that's why there are more colorways, although this does look very similar, kind of. There's just less white, and this is more gray, which, because I got gray, which is really great. I'm so excited. But yeah, so that's really great. And then my other colorway I'm also very happy with is this little guy. And this is not really showing up the best, but that's okay. I will take pictures at some point, and yes. It's just like a very light green with like speckles of blue and yellow and dark green, and then also some like corally color. So yeah, and there might be a little bit of gray as well. I don't remember. I did write it down though, so if you like this, if you'd like to knit with this, the yellow is showing up way more than it actually is in person, if that is any consolation. There we go. How about that? How does that look? Does that look better? That looks better. So yeah, if you guys like that, let me know, and I can also remember that one. And this one is definitely not a holiday colorway. This is a regular type colorway. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like Impressionism, slightly. So, who knows what this could be called? It could be called something. So those are the 2 new things that I dyed. I also, okay, so moving forward with the business stuff, I have big news. I have this big box over here that I'm going to show you because the actual yarn that I will be selling has arrived. So I have it, and there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. Granted, this will probably not be all I have. I just didn't want to like get everything in one go, because also that'd be really expensive, and I didn't want to do that quite yet. So I just picked out 5 or 6 of the ones that I really, really liked, and I'll be doing that. I have at least 1 yarn in every weight. Not every weight. Fingering, Sport DK, and worsted. I have 2 fingering ones. Both are sock weight. I think I put that one away. But one of them has sparkle in it. Hello, focus. Focus. There we go. One of them has sparkle in them, so that's exciting. Because sparkle in this would be so pretty. Also, sparkle in this would be so pretty. There's just so many options. There's just so many options. Anyway, so once I did get another box of like tester yarn from Knit Picks, because I want to try out more colorways, and because right now I only have 4 or 5 of them. So I'm gonna try a little bit more, see what I come up with, and sorry for the crinkling, there was a lot of plastic in there. Once I get a little bit more comfortable with like, I know what I'm doing. I'm also gonna try like redoing things to see how accurately I can recreate a colorway. And once I get that I'm a little bit more comfortable with that, I'm gonna start dyeing on actual sellable yarn, which is really exciting. I have mailer packages that I ordered that I got, and they came in the mail yesterday. I'm working on labels. So I'm moving right along. I am so excited about how like well it's going. But like I said, it's still like kind of, oh my goodness, what is going on? Is this actually happening? I don't know. But it's really great. It still doesn't feel like work. That's really wonderful. I am enjoying every single minute of it, and that is so much fun. So that is it for dyeing. There will definitely be so much more in the future. For sure, for sure. In regards to the book that I was reading, I have not read it at all. In fact, I currently don't know where it is, but that's okay. I think I know where it is. I've been really busy. But I have been listening to one of my all-time favorite books by one of my all-time favorite authors, Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. They're the type of book that like you can never read too many times. Also the type of book that like every single time you read it, you always learn something new, or you pick up something new that you haven't read before, or you haven't seen or noticed before, and it's just like, wow, I love this book so much. Or the series, in this case. It's definitely one of my favorites. Ellen Montgomery is truly, truly amazing. I'm listening to it on LibriVox, which is like a free audiobook place. So I found there are several versions that people have recorded of Anne of Green Gables in particular, and so I just went through and found the voice person that I like the best, and I've been going through that while I dye and while I work, which is really great. So that is what I've been listening to. I will link it to in the show notes if you'd like to take a listen, or if you just like to check out LibriVox in general, because they have a lot of great books. It's more geared toward like classics and stuff, so it's not like, they definitely don't have more modern books or more recent books, which is, I mean, sometimes you need to read the classics. It's just one of those things you need to do because they're just so great. And sometimes you don't have time to actually sit down with the book. Sometimes you have to listen to it, which I also really enjoy, because it also means knitting, which is always a great thing. So that's all with that. Moving on to the end of the show, which also includes the housekeeping note that I was going to talk about. This coming week, I am going on a little trip. I'm going to Oklahoma to see a friend get married, which is really exciting. I'm going to see a lot of other friends, because I'm originally from Oklahoma. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm originally from Oklahoma. Fun fact. So I don't know if I will be able to record next week because the wedding is on Saturday, and of course uploading might be challenging. I'll be in Oklahoma on Friday. That'll be kind of challenging to record there. Who knows, maybe I'll like record something on the way and like put together something and I can upload it when I get back, or like when I have time. Who knows? There are options. I don't know what they are, but we'll figure it out. So just as a heads up, there might not be an episode next week, but there might, or on Saturday anyway, there might be something up later that following week, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, yeah, I'll just figure it out, and I'm sure I'll let you guys know whenever that gets figured out. So yeah, I think that is it for this week. It's a really great knitting week for sure. Lots of finished things and lots of exciting dyeing things, which is really wonderful. Thank you guys so much for sitting with me for however long this is, 30 minutes, whatever. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the crafting that you got done if you were crafting while you were watching this. And hopefully I will see you next week. If not, I will see you at some point, the next episode. I will see you and we will continue our friendly little chat. Hopefully I will have lots of progress made on this guy, because yay for travel knitting. Travel knitting. I'm also planning on taking other things like my cinnamon girl cardigan, the hat, lots of things, because you can never have too much knitting while you travel. That is a terrifying thought of running out of yarn while you're traveling. I know you knitters know what I'm talking about. It is one of those constant fears. That's okay, that you compensate by bringing way too much. Which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. At least you're prepared, and that's all that really matters. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I will see you guys whenever I see you next, and hope you have a great day. Bye!